there will be the same bans, I think. So
Same bans.
I think
No,
ONIC
I think
Esports
this is where it changed.
okay. It's the same. All right, Matilda for ONIC Esports. If that happens, it's the Matilda, right?
I think at this point,
Or maybe you buy the Kufra.
it's a gamble
No, it's a
here.
Matilda.
They still
Yeah.
go for Matilda, so far it is still
Same.
the exact same draft. If Valley goes for Leslie here, 100%.
It's the same.
And they go,
There
okay,
you go.
It is.
welcome to game one.
Ladies and
Exactly.
gentlemen, this is not a replay. This is live. You can pinch
Dude,
yourself
okay, so-
right now.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
That's the change.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
But that opens up. that opens
my
up the Lilia for the side of the Valley, which is still equally good. Maybe they go for the Kufra first because it really will not be different for their composition. Then they just last pick maybe a Lunox or a Lilia, depending on what the Valley, what Hoon feels like. Now it has to be not Moskov unless they, or maybe just put the Grok in the XP lane, get a different hero for Keyboy. Maybe a,
I agree.
actually maybe a
Cho.
Kadira or Cho.
Cho, Kadira, those two heroes that can dive to the back line can pose a threat to the carry.
That's right.
And on top of that, I think for this one, the Moskov, do we still want to see a Moskov here? I think the Moskov did a good job in terms of damage here, but they will go for the Cho.
Cho, yeah.
And
Oh my goodness.
is it the Moskov?
It's
still
okay.
the Moskov.
That's okay.
Alright.
But the Cho is a big difference maker. Now, do you want to go Lilia for the side of the Valley, or you want to go back to something like a Tank Shredder to go with the carry, like a Lunox that we talked
Lunox.
about? That's great damage versus the Grok as well. It's a threat.
Well, they go for the Lilia, a bit more mid-control, wave control, a bit more just pressure on the board, right?
Yeah.
If you're playing with the Barats, you want to get that mid-control as fast as possible.
Correct.
So that's still what the Valley are going for.
Another thing I also like to point out is that ONIC and the Valley are basically like, you know, they're driving on the same highway down the road. And then you thought that they're going to be best friends, you know, parallel all the way. And then all of a sudden it is ONIC is like, wee, I'm going to go to the other side by bending away to Valentina. And then the Valley right now, they want to go for the same, you know, same style, same composition because they thought ONIC is going to go for the same composition.
Yeah.
And the Valley right now needs to opt for a Lilia. I feel like the Valley's composition in the game number one heavily feels like the Valentina is the better slot right there.
Benedetta in the previous game worked a little bit, but it had to be a sacrificial role. This time, the Grok, it will be a more proactive role. Not because it destroys the composition of the Valley, but it has this tech that it can win against the XP lane matchup as compared before when it's like a glue versus Benedetta where the glue was just able to destroy the Benedetta. This time it will be different.
Yes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number two. It is ONIC sending a statement to the world that they will be the heroes against the antagonists of M4.
Well, you know, let's take a look at this and let's try to dissect it, right? The way both teams are going to be playing is through the mid lane. Sans Keyboy, Cho Yeep combination versus the Lilia Kufra. It will still favor the Lilia Kufra in terms of wave clear, but that's where the Yeep can actually say, hey, I don't need to just clear the wave. I can actually poke you down with a superior range.
And maybe now the Valley will be focusing on the bottom lane. Super Shark in a prime spot. He actually went to that bush earlier than ONIC Esports. That's why they're able to control it. But that meant that ONIC Esports will control the Lethal Wanderer, unlike in the previous game.
Yeah, a lot of changes coming up from ONIC. It feels like the same drop, but, you know, the change that the Grok goes to the EXP lane, and then, you know, Keyboy goes in a Cho roam. I like this bait coming up from ONIC in the dropping phase.
Smart move coming up from Super Shark. He used his passive to attack this Lizard. And because of that, the Lizard was able to spot out two of the members of ONIC Esports, taking that away. So,
What a
very
big
good play
brain
coming up
move.
from Super Shark, yeah.
Lizard?
brain move,
I was looking for the Lizard. I was like, where's the Lizard? What's the Lizard? I thought Yu Jong is the Lizard.
Actually, though, fun fact, right? Looking at the drafts again, it's just a very minor adjustment that ONIC Esports have made. Literally just one hero change and one hero ban change. I did, you know, I got a lot of chances to actually speak to Aldo back in MPID Season 10. Here, though, Sans to be caught. White Chicken actually wants to dive in. That's the immobilize.
Oh my god.
And it's first blood again for Fwide. But this time, Kyrie's already looking for a play with Boots. That's going to be the trade. 1-4-1. Sans for the XP lane. But back to my point. Aldo has said many times that for his team, every single time, all he wants to change are just minor adjustments. That's what he wants to do. No major changes anytime.
And now Kyrie is actually a level ahead of Mobazen, but Mobazen, if he gets to the orange buff, will be quite sort of equalized, but ONIC are just rushing in, Boots! hits.
Wild charge and Keyboy kicks Hoon away with Way the Dragon. First turtle over to ONIC Esports. Both teams still in this limbo, I should say, early game, because sure, it's the turtle take, but it's only a 500 gold lead, which can be equalized in just a few last hits.
Yep, there's a saying, you gotta put your best foot forward at the first foot forward, right? But let's take a look at the items. Currently, it is still standard. It's gonna be a Karina, definitely going back into that tank build once again. Another thing to highlight as well, that Moskov going for the same route as well. So nothing too shabby, but another thing I also got to point out is White Chicken is doing a lot of damage in the early game. That's because first item he rushed was the Magic Penetration Boots.
See now, the ONIC, the disadvantage may be just, just forcing their level or experience advantage over the Valley. Maybe carry next turtle, they want to make sure that they take it as well. The fact that Fried Chicken was a little bit shut down this game, that's already good news for ONIC Esports compared to the previous game. Maybe they can activate boots much faster than how they did it in the previous game.
I mean, we got to talk about this mid lane pressure, because now it seems like with the help of the Cho, when we get into that mid stage, it's going to be a bit better for the Yve Cho combo compared to the Lilia and the Kufra. But let's see here, as ONIC Esports and the Valley have actually opted to put the resources down in the gold lane. Both teams just disengaging, no real source or no real commitment from both teams.
Yeah, there's nothing to fight at the bottom lane. Your turtle is coming on 30 seconds, but hold on a second, this could be a fight.
Sit aside a bit there, a long angle, but the damage will still come through to take Mobazane down. ONIC Esports with a 1,000 gold lead, picking up the jungler 20 seconds before the turtle spawns. Meanwhile, in the gold lane, you can already see Super Shark going in. That's going to be Keyboy taken to half HP. He respects the damage, recalls away.
Gets out as well because of the fact that he is a Cho, a very mobile hero. That is the main difference between like the Grok and the carry. The Grok doesn't, he cannot stay in front of the carry. Has to use the wild charge just to get away. But when it comes to the Cho, he has many ways to get out of the zone. And this is going to be a real good adjustment coming out from ONIC Esports, opting to go for the Cho instead of the Grok roam in this game. And of course, the Grok in the XP lane also, you can see how good it is against the glue.
Yeah, I think right now it's all about this turtle dance. That pick up from the side of ONIC on top of Mobazane is just a minor tickle for the Valley, but it seems like they have to commit to this one.
Wild charge and split is going to be gone there. Keyboy going to be able to knock Mobazane back away. Who gets the turtle? It's basic out of nowhere. Still free hitting in the back line. Boo's going to be able to flicker out to safety. Basic saving the neutral objective fight to go to the way of the Valley. With White Chicken down, I thought it would be ONIC who just secures it for free.
And even the kick coming up from Keyboy was onto Mobazane, so it would have been like the best scenario for ONIC, but carry a rare miss with the Retribution.
I think not only just that, right? Like if the Valley cracks open the mid lane, that is stonks in terms of tempo for the side of the Valley. But it is going to be CW cracking open the bottom lane instead. ONIC right now on pure damage control. They're still leading in the gold lead department. There are the items coming in.
And that's a kill over to CW. Well, for the steal, you gotta give credit to Basic, right?
Yeah.
He's called the Red Tree Gods for a reason. Kyrie, though, takes the Retribution back here, secures the gold buff, and just backs away. Item builds.
Okay, so you now have the Corrosion side for the side of the Moscow. So that's going to be that's the reason why he was able to gun down Fried Chicken and also poke him down. And the timing coming out from Keyboy to follow up was also amazing. That allowed for ONIC to get 1,000 golding. The 1.6k. Woods with the flicker up top with the Karina in the vicinity. It prompts now Basic to just get out. He's not feeling where Kyrie as well as Woods is, so he just went back out.
Well, Kyrie wants to go for the steal. That's very aggressive. He gets the steal, but he's going to be munched up. Mobazane with the up now. Super Shock with the Time's Revenge and the Rage. Kyrie still surviving, but will fall to the hands of Hoon. Wild charge coming down. CW in the midst of it all. Jumps back in, securing 2 kills for ONIC Esports. It's a double for CW, and it's a 3-for-1 on top of the setup provided by Kyrie.
And this is the reason why ONIC went for the Moskov in the early game with this Corrosion side items. Instead of going for, the crit damage items, which is a lot more expensive, you want CW to get online as quickly as possible. And now, that previous team fight, Kyrie literally walked into an obvious Daytona's welcome, but ONIC was just in time right there, and you don't fight a Moskov in the choke point. It's literally spears all across the board. ONIC will have total control.
I think that was a great communication coming up from ONIC Esports and great macro as well. Even when it's like a very risky move for Kyrie to go up against Mobazane, he knows that if he gets the retribution up, because he has got the level advantage, the fact that he already stole that orange buff is just a lot of gold you take away from Mobazane. A lot of the tempo taken out from the Barats, and the favorable trade for ONIC Esports 3-4-1 was hashtag worth for ONIC Esports.
3,000 gold lead now for ONIC Esports. Thing is, we saw this last game too. They were leading.
I like the fact that we're like, hey, it's a 3K gold lead. It's an advantage for ONIC. But then we're like, maybe not, because we've seen how crazy teams can play in M4. A 3K gold lead is nothing. When it hits hard, it's a 10K gold lead when every one of each member from your team is one item ahead, and that's where you get to see the bigger results. 3K is nothing to scoff at. The Valley can easily climb this back. However, ONIC doesn't want to give it to them.
Good opening there by Keyboy, spotting Mobazane out. Now Mobazane needs to make a decision. He wants to fight for it. He does. He takes the retribution there. Both of the junglers went for it, but Mobazane is able to secure his own. Valley still on defense mode right now, and honestly, they're doing really good right now, right? They're clearing the waves properly. They're responding to ONIC's proactiveness very, very well.
However, they're losing control of the map, and that is why ONIC Esports are banking on heading into the first Lord of the game. If they control the map and control the lanes much better, if they take away the purple buffs as well as the orange buffs before the Lord happens, that will be an easier Lord for them. So now it's Kyrie with a 2-level or 1-level advantage over Mobazane, heading into the next Lord fight. Oh, Hoon! Super Shark though has the flicker.
That's a lot of damage coming up on CW. Hoon doesn't have the purple shoes going in. 16 seconds is that Lord count right now. Supercharge is charging it up. It could be a fight, but it will not. ONIC right now just focusing on clearing the waves. That's the name of the game. Put a lot of pressure on the lanes, force the Valley to react.
That's something that we did not see in the later stage of the game for ONIC Esports when they were actually winning. They had 3 base turrets. The setup was neglected, ignored by ONIC Esports, and the Valley was able to capitalize on that. Keyboy though wants to go for the way to Dragon on Super Shark out of all people. Mobazane's still going to be able to get the tempo to knock them down, and that's even CW pinned down. That's the time of range as well. Basic! It's free hitting in the back line! He finds a lot of damage down, but San's going to be able to dish out more. Who now on to Kyrie, who's still able to actually survive. Basic going to be walled down. Boone is going to fall to the hands of Sans. As Kyrie jumps in once again, it's a 3-for-1 to the side of ONIC Esports.
It's a crazy fight coming up from ONIC, giving up CW over the side of Mobazane and right into Sans reward manipulation. Woods did a wonderful job with the ultimate just to stun out Basic, and not only just that, the wall does a lot of damage.
Oh my god, White Chicken will be able to attack Sans this time. Kyrie is here. Keyboys will. That's it. Right. That's it for Sans.
See ya, Sans. White Chicken takes him down, and ONIC Esports collapse on him.
Wow.
It's a 1-for-1, but they do get the Lord.
Okay, so you see, margin for error for ONIC Esports, it's still there. It's still very slim, right? That's why CW, when he went in for Mobazane, you thought that they'd be able to take out the Barats with a combination of the real-world manipulation, but with just a slight damage, scarcity coming up from ONIC Esports. All of a sudden, CW was exposed. Mobazane take it out. Basic gets a free hit. But then again, ONIC Esports, because of the economic lead that they have, Kyrie was able to find the opening. Sans eventually overwhelms the Valley. Boots with the timing prevents Basic from being a menace even so, but they still manage to keep Basic alive. However, objective goes to ONIC.
Hospal is built up for CW. He's still going for no defensive items.
No, man.
Full offense for CW.
Yeah, defense are for nerds. That's what LaFell said, right? But of course, it's going to be ONIC controlling the map for now. That Lord that is marching up top, the Valley needs to buy time. They do have a carry in store, and you start to see the damage start to leak through. But it's a little bit tricky for the Valley, is because a Moskov could hit Mobazane, and Basic could be caught in the backside as collateral.
What do you do right now if you're the Valley?
You just defend, You have a lot of waves in you. You have the Barats, also like frontline in a way. And you also have the carry as your late game insurance. Just don't lose inhibitor turret. Just don't lose a man. You're going to be okay with this first Lord push coming out from ONIC despite you being a big deficit.
They still have the turret passive, so I think, there you go. Without even proccing it down, actually, they're going to be able to defend the top side base turret. Tier 2 down below. Gonna be taken down though in the mid lane as well. So it's still on Esports with a lot more map pressure. Keyboy gonna be caught. Super Shock jumps in with the Times Revenge and the Rage. But will the real world inflation stop them? Yes, it will. Boots with a wild charge. He's the one who falls. You don't do that to Basic. Basic does that to you.
Yeah, man, you can see how Sans set out a beautiful real-world manipulation, but giving the EXP laner as a trade for Aroma. I think ONIC shouldn't have fight there. The main goal is to put some pressure. Remember what we talked about, Wolf.
Yep.
Little wins, and make that win into a big hill.
Keyboy getting the way, the dragon down onto Zayn. The killing spree over for Kyrie. Still a 5,000 gold lead is ONIC Esports trying to siege down the base turret in the top lane. CW with a very aggressive movement here. Needs to be careful. Jumps in again. Basic gonna be caught. Getting a superstar from out of nowhere. Finding CW, punishing him, and the Valley takes one back.
Again, margin of errors. Very slim for ONIC Esports. They went in with CW. It looks flashy, right? They found Basic. But Basic had the weight of nature. And then there goes Super Shark's punishment. They went outside of the real world manipulation, outside of the influence of Sans. And ONIC will have to lose their carry. However, they still took the turret up top. But was it worth it for the Lord fight?
M4 has never failed to amaze me. These matches are tied. Man, you saw what Superstar did. That was a maximum range right into the ultimate. So beautifully executed. Mobazain already on the Lord Pit right now. It's ready. Chung Low, Merkle.
Poon taken low. Keyboy looking for the opening right now. Superstar pops in a bouncing ball. Kyrie looking for retribution right now. That's going to be it. 50-50. Mobazain wins it. Guess the death was welcome onto Keyboy's going to be taken down. Basic still running for the hills. They got the Lord. That's all they need. They're backing up. A boot jumps in with a wild charge. One kill over to ONIC Esports. Moba taking the ball as well.
Oh, no.
Double kill for CW. 2 kills and the Lord for the Valley. Who is it worth for? That's my question to you.
Well, they do have the Lilia this time, so I think it's kind of worth for ONIC in terms of the economy, but they will not be able to end this unless the Valley makes a mistake. Oh, CW tearing through.
Uh-oh. The Lord's marching down the mid lane. ONIC Esports took down the base turret in the bottom lane. And they're going to be able to clear this out. There's nothing that the Valley can do with the Lord.
Exactly. We're talking about little wins right now. ONIC needs these small little wins. You saw that it converted into a Mobazain kill in the earlier part, but then ONIC got a little bit greedy. They got, you know, I want a bigger pie. But right now, they can only eat small little crumbs. ONIC need to slowly accumulate these crumbs, make it into a big mountain so they can take this game number 2.
Well, the fact that the Valley have prolonged this game, that definitely makes that Lord fight worth. However, it was very risky. There were so many chances for Kyrie to steal a retribution, especially with Keyboy jumping in for the stun onto Mobazain. But then again, Mobazain held his ground again. The Daytona's welcome, providing crowd control immunity, helped their case. Securing that.
Oh, wow.
Got a defense item.
Yeah,
there you go. So you technically just called CW a nerd. Indirectly.
Hey,
LaFell called
it. was LaFell called it, all right? It's LaFell. LaFell with the Athena Shield. Look at that. But you got to admit, that is CW showing a lot of respect over to Hun. The reason why ONIC cannot penetrate or take more, you know, map control away, or basically take more turrets from the Valley, is because Hun on this Lilia clears a wave like it's nothing. You compare that to a Valentina doesn't have a very good wave clear. The way that the Valentina wave clear is you need to step forward, and when you step forward, there's a lot of mistakes that you might make.
I love how in the knockout stages, especially towards the end here, I think yesterday and today, we're just seeing close games every game, right? It's very rare that we get to see a stomp. I think the last one was 1 game out of 5 in RRQ versus Falcon.
Oh, top lane again, Shark and Basic.
Boots gonna be able to survive there. Basic jumps in. Boots with the one Basic finds the kill, but now it's the collab. Basic is gonna fall, and Kyrie picks up the shutdown. The rest of the Valley are here, trying to make their way. CW is gonna be taken down already early on. Keyboy still trying to run away. Boy Chicken already on the split. They still have the tier 1. They can play around it, but what an amazing bait by Basic to bring the other members down. Boots CW out, 2 side laners.
Right now, the Valley does have the Lord priority this time round. ONIC needs another 30 more seconds to get into the Lord Pit for now. If the Valley camps around the Lord Pit right here, you can see they're making a beeline. ONIC would not be able to gain Lord presence.
Oh my goodness.
Again, right? Every Lord fight, it feels like CW is just not there.
Yeah, so Basic and Shark, I mean, the Super Shark, Super Basic, Basic Shark, whatever we call that
Basic
combo.
Shark.
These There's an ambush coming out. Ambush is coming out from the Valley. They snatched the lead away from ONIC Philippines for quite a bit, and now it's equalized.
Let's see.
ONIC cannot take this fight. They're not ready for it.
They're not. Keyboy's very low, right? He needs to back off here. They need to play with the side lane pressure, but the Valley are not giving that to him. Wow. Good snipe, actually, from the edge of the base.
Big blunder from Zeke. You cannot do that here, Keyboy. You need to apply the vision.
Uh-oh, he recalled in. The Lord is at half HP. No knowledge right now.
Look at that.
With the power of nature, still able to escape. Keyboy is finally back in the Lord fight. White Chicken jumps in with a slam, pass, zoning Sans away. And just like that, that's a man advantage for the Valley. But still, it's White Chicken not able to find that split. Now it's going to be a 50-50 once again. Kyrie jumping in.
CW.
going to be able to actually collapse on the Mobazane. The Retribution jumps in and Mobazane wins it again. Real word of inflation, locking Mobazane down. But the Valley with a great decision to back off right as Zane secures the Lord.
I don't know whether this is a curse or not in M4, especially those people who took down the Lord. You know, you're going to lose a team fight, right? And it's very crazy how Mobazane uses the Daytona's welcome on top of Kyrie. Kyrie can't use the Retribution at all, and it's a free Lord over the side of the Valley, and now it's up to the Valley to make good use of this Lord that they fought so hard to take.
Oh, late game Barretts. Once you get inside the vicinity of the Lord, you're going to be able to take it out. But White Chicken, though, is this the fight?
No, I don't think
so. No. It's White Chicken who turns it back around. Onto Boots here, but there's not going to be any more follow-up. The Valley knows they have a man disadvantage. So ONIC Esports are just going to utilize this to clear out the Lord again. So 2 Lords, the Valley. Yeah. Solid retribution, solid positioning, but 2 Lords, no punishment from the Valley.
I guess this is the time where we prove like the stats, right? The Turtle and the Lord control from the Valley, they are in favor when we started this, and we can see it in action.
Well, technically speaking, you have more Lord control because you're so hungry for the kills. Each pickoff is big.
Shunpu gets him out. Keyboy with a flicker out. Kyrie now in the midst of it all. Still in there. Deathless Welcome. Going to be able to lock him down with the slam pass fast. CW free hitting. Kyrie still full HP. He is a tank, remember. Boots though, he is not. He jumps over the wall, charge on the Hoon, but a Purify is there for him. White Chicken with split. Buying a little bit more time. Boots going to fall to the hands of Hoon. Kyrie still there. That's a kill over. 1 for 1. Keyboy is very, very low. Sans going to be able to actually dish out the damage right now. Basic is a quarter of HP down. Both teams disengaging. 2,000 gold lead. ONIC Esports want more, but the Valley saying, no, we're backing off.
We're trading EXP laners for now. This is how the game has evolved to be. We're trading right now, but the Valley does have an advantage. They're stronger in the Lord control because they always take 1 member from the enemy team away, and then the enemy team doesn't dare to contest the Lord.
You have to clear this CW. It's a big minion. Look at that. The turret. I was close. You have to be mindful of that, but here comes again. The shark and basic. Keyboy! Keyboy, what a god. What a god. What a god, Keyboy.
I like the way that you say it, Keyboy, what a god. And like a matter of factly, like you know Keyboy is a god, but Mirko and I were like, what?
Dude, it's not fair. You get to hang out with these players. I just know them.
My goodness. That was very sick. But then again, this combo, the Kufra and the carry, we saw that so many times this game. Good thing is, this is a choke, so you can escape. You have ways to escape. With a Shunpo and a godly, reaction time, yeah, surely you can.
Oh my god, you're talking about things happening in the future. I'm still caught in the Keyboy play. All right, okay, there you go. We gotta move on. ONIC Esports looking for something now is Zane. Keyboy, he gets out of a catch and he finds a catch on the Zane. Who's not gonna be melted down. Zane is down! The Valley are 1 man down, and it's the Evolved Lord. 21 minutes in, they're starting it.
They're definitely starting it. This is very big for ONIC. This is the window, and it's a very slim. The Valley, on the other hand, look at Basic, look at Super Shark. They can turn this around. ONIC needs to take down this Lord as quickly as possible.
Well, this is the time. The Valley, they want to go for it right now. Boots in the mid lane, gonna be actually spread it down. Look at Basic. Oh my god! Boots is down! ONIC Esports now, going for it, but look at base right now. CW is going to be able to go for it. CW! Fire, he pops it in! Equalizer! 1-1! ONIC and the Valley.
Amazing plays! Small little errors. We talk about this, ladies and gents. We talk about how small errors from each team can compile into a big problem. And the Valley was the one that made that error, giving ONIC game number 2.
moments, minutes after minutes, they're making the great plays. Super Shark and Basic finding Boots. Then Keyboy eventually finds Mobazane.
Wow.
For some reason, Captain America is